Now, on Friday, the Trump White House made a rare move by banning a number of different news organizations from attending an informal briefing. Now, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer had reportedly banned reporters from CNN, the New York Times, Politico, the LA Times, and BuzzFeed from attending something known as a gaggle, which is a non-televised briefing. Now, it did give access, however, new access to people that hadn't been a part of this before, including those representing conservative outlets. Now, look, I don't care. News is supposed to be, like, if you're conservative, whatever, right? They should have the same amount of press freedom as anybody else. However, some of these include things that aren't exactly reputable news outlets. Now, you have Fox News, Breitbart, One America News, and the Washington Times. I gotta ask, what the hell is Breitbart doing there? Breitbart. Like, I kind of get Fox because, hey, they do some reporting. They do some straight news. And as far as conservative press goes, they're the most legitimate of conservative news outlets. But Breitbart? Those are the guys that are the platform for the so-called alt-right. They do deceptive stories, and they've been known, even in the conservative world, as a pro-Trump propaganda outlet. And, of course, it was head up by Steve Bannon, chief White House strategist, and the guy that I think is really actually running the White House.
Yeah, you're not alone. I mean, that's what most of us think, and it's likely true. And I think it's fair to also say Breitbart is a white nationalist media outlet.
Yeah, I think
I don't think that's I mean, I know some people are like, well, like, no, that's what they are. I mean, there's enough out there. They're grossly sexist, and they're grossly racist, and the whole like alt-right guys. It's let's call it what it is.
Well,
they're a white nationalist media outlet.
I mean, when you call it alt-right, you're ironically participating in the being politically correct.
Yeah, right.
Just on their side,
and it's not. And you're also normalizing it. I mean, it's not, it's a bogus term.
Normal.
It makes no sense, and it's no. Let's call it what it is. It's white nationalism. That's what Breitbart is.
Now, look, to be fair, right? There is an approved list that includes CBS, NBC, ABC, The Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Time, and the Associated Press. So those are the people who also could go. But as far as CNN, the New York Times, Politico, and the LA Times, as well as BuzzFeed, no go. You can't go. You are not allowed to be in this gaggle, which sounds awful anyway, but why would you name it something like that? Now, okay, so reporters from the Associated Press and Time Magazine, they said, you know what, we're not going to go because these other outlets haven't been invited. Now, if you're going to invite conservative outlets, okay, but don't ban other outlets. Let everybody come. Open it up. Might as well, right? But they don't see it. In fact, you had Brett Baer coming out. Fox News guy. Very conservative guy. We don't agree with him on like 99% of issues. Now, he tweeted out, some at CNN and New York Times stood with Fox News when the Obama administration attacked us and tried to exclude us for a White House, or tried to exclude us. A White House gaggle should be open to all credentialed organizations. And then you also had somebody else that was high up in the administration earlier last year, or I should say in December of last year, saying this.
The Trump campaign gained notoriety for and was criticized for was banning reporters and banning outlets. Politico is one of them. But you've said, I think, that that's not going to happen.
Well, I think, look, there's a big difference between a campaign where it is a private venue using private funds and a government entity. And I think we have a respect for the press when it comes to the government, that is something that you can't ban an entity from. Conservative, liberal, or otherwise. I think that's what makes a democracy versus a dictatorship. So I think there's a vastly different model when it comes to government and what should be accepted, and that's on both sides.
Oops. I think Spicy done goofed there, Ron. Like, oh, but only dictatorships ban media outlets. Now he's banning media outlets.
Right. Well, and not only is he banning them, but he's also like antagonizing them and scapegoating them and creating this kind of common enemy, so to speak, out of them, at least amongst his supporters. And that's fascism by the book. I mean that's propaganda by the book. So yeah, it's a very dangerous trend that Donald Trump and the Trump administration is going on in regards to press freedom. And it's important for folks like us to point out too, because I was thinking about this morning. I was listening to Democracy Now, and it's like there's a big difference between criticizing the media and being a totalitarian fascist against the media. And as flawed as our media is, this is Orwellian what they're doing, banning access, and and hopefully the one cyclical effect of this is it will be a wake-up call for some in the corporate media to actually start doing their jobs, because it's like, well, we've allowed power to go unchecked for so long, and now look at what's happening.
Right.
They're going after us now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they came for them and I didn't speak out. They came for them. Well, now they're coming after us, and there's no one left to speak for us because so many people don't trust us anyway.
Right.
And justifiably so.
And look, this is all Donald Trump's war against the media. And look, he's only against the people that don't talk good about him, right? He's like, the failing New York Times wrote a bad article about me. I hate them. If the New York Times wrote a good article about him, he'd be sucking their dick. He'd be like, oh my God, New York Times, so amazing, great people. You guys are tremendous over at the New York Times. It's only if they say something bad about him or report, I don't know, something that doesn't make him look good. Like the fact that he's been bankrupt, 6 times? Running a casino. And so, look, this guy, he doesn't care about truth. He doesn't care about fake news, right? He likes the fake news that makes him look good. I mean, go back to his inauguration pictures, right? He put out his own fake news where he made Sean Spicer go out there. And this is where the whole alternative facts came from. Is that, no, he had the biggest crowd ever at an inauguration. No, you didn't. But he's out there making people put out fake news to make him look better. All he cares about is
his Goebbels.
But that's it. He doesn't care about it. Anything that makes him look good is preferred. I mean, did you know that Trump used to pose as a fake news source to promote himself? Do you remember the name of John Barron or John Miller or any of the other names he might have used? And he would use these names to call up these different media outlets and report information about himself, to get himself in the news.
PR is what he's good at, man.
PR.
That's
this is all he does. And he's out there ripping anonymous sources, right? Well, before he revealed himself as John Barron or John Miller, he's like, I'm Donald Trump's friend, and I got some information about him. Well, who are you? Oh, I can't tell you. I'm an anonymous source. Now he's going to rip anonymous sources. Now he's going to go after the media for citing anonymous sources, which is fairly standard when it comes to leaks. But again,
I was going to say
to the media about himself. It's hypocrisy, man. And he was doing fake news.
Well, the anonymous, he should not be scared of anonymous sources. He should be scared of anonymous, because they're just waiting. I mean, and they've made it clear, like, they're not a fan of Trump. And I think this guy has a lot beneath the surface. So I think it's going to be interesting if he keeps, to kind of tie in what we're talking about, because that's like kind of a related point, but a little bit of a left turn here. But if he's going to keep up this kind of fascist regime of squashing the press, I think there's going to be a ridiculous backlash. And I think you're going to have some heavy hacktivism involved. And I think that he is sort of just a sitting duck for an organization like Anonymous. And it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, who knows, right? I mean, Anonymous is already pretty unhappy with Donald Trump, so
right,
I don't know what's
right,
gonna
and they've
happen.
made it very clear. They're like, we're coming.
So there you go. But again, back to Trump here. His administration banning media outlets because they think they're fake news and because they don't like anonymous sources. Knowing his past and knowing what he's done is incredibly hypocritical. Sad. Baby.
Exclamation point.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.